Hey, welcome back to the shop. This is my part two of my Woodturners kiln building. So, if you haven't seen part one, I suggest you have a look at that because drying wood for wood turning is different than drying lumber. And there are things that people that have them don't tell you. Anyways, if you haven't seen that, I suggest you have a look at it. But I'm starting this video here kind of like halfway through, but you will see this whole thing being built. And I just wanted to say that this part, once I reach to this part, I'm gonna make a face for the doors. You don't need to do that. The only reason I'm doing that is because I had this doors that I got from the restore that came with these hinges that stick out and interfere with my shelving. So it means I need to come up another ½ inch, and so putting a face will give me 3/4 of an inch. But if you're doing this, you will need to do that. I'm going to try different things and do update videos, just to make sure that I come up with the proper information on what works best, and not just the speed of drying, the success of whether they crack or not. So anyways, let's go build this thing. I started by cutting 3 pieces just shy of 32 inches. One for the top, one for the bottom. The other one got divided into 4-inch pieces for basically this, what you see here. I made this bridge type thing. I cut the 2 long pieces to the height that I needed to be. This is non-specific, I guess. And then I basically put the shell together using glue and nails. The pieces on the metal is just there to stabilize, so because otherwise that thing would buckle. Then I cut my styrofoam. This is 3/4 of an inch, and proceeded to line the inside of it. With it, I left on purpose exactly the width of these pieces here, 1x2s, I guess they are. And because I had this idea that it will work. So anyways, I used glue for these pieces, and I cut, as you can see, 4 little corners there, which I eventually filled with pieces of wood, because that's where the legs of the shelf are gonna sit. So here I'm drilling a hole for my electrical, for the 2 lamp holders. It's a side hole for the plug wire, and one on the top for when I install my fan. And then I fed my wire, which meant I have to put the thing flat on the ground to feed it, and proceeded to install the hardware for the 2 lights. I didn't drill a hole, I didn't do it through the bottom on this one, because the cable would not fit through the pipe like twice. So I figured I have to tether them anyways. So I'm just gonna go in once, and from that one just tether to the next on top. I will cover all my connections with hot glue, I think, from a glue gun, just to, not to run into any problems because of the humidity in there. So then I realized that I had 6-foot pieces for the side, but they weren't long enough. So I decided, instead of getting longer wood or making cuts, so I decided I was going to divide them in half and put a brace in the middle, which will help support the integrity of the thing, and that will give me the right height, because I was just missing like less than 3/4 of an inch. So I went halfway up basically to I measure so I match the height of one of the shelves on the unit. So then here's the other half, and now I'm able to reach the whole height of the doors. I thought the doors were like 6 feet, but they were a little longer. Here I'm using spray glue to finish the rest of the pieces. This actually worked out really well. So since I had it there, I figured I will line up my doors so I can mark where the hole for the hinges are gonna be, so I don't have to deal with it later on trying to hang them perfectly straight. With here I can line them up perfectly and sneak underneath with a pencil and just make a mark so they will be there. So then I brought my shelf that I bought from Home Depot, and I put it in and it fit perfect. And this is the part where I kind of run into the problem where the hinges, there was not enough room for the hinges. So here I'm putting the back. I already removed the piece of baseboard where this sits against the wall, and put it up against the wall. I clean up the inside of the doors with denatured alcohol and put some weather stripping on it, which is gonna help me seal this thing. It's not gonna be a perfect seal, but it's a kiln at the end of the day, just to dry stuff. But it actually worked out very well. Like when I close a door, the other one slaps open, which tells me that there is no air gaps, so the air has to go somewhere. So here I'm installing the two doors, and that's gonna pretty much bring us to the full completion. Well, there you have it. I thought it was pretty good the way it was, but my girlfriend Kim said I don't think so. So she came today and painted the whole thing green to match my wall, and she painted the frame of it black to match the doors, and it looks amazing. I don't know if it's a good working kiln, but it's certainly the best looking one I've seen. So most of the stuff is in here is already dry. This one's here are almost ready to go. So I don't think they make a difference to actually test this out. So I have two light bulbs in there, and I have an exhaust vent to install, fan with the controller, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna stay in the low setting because I don't want a lot of airflow. And I have this from my greenhouse from before. It's a temperature controller, and if you're familiar with it, then this will, according to how you set it, it will turn on basically. In my case, the lights when it needs heat, and when it reaches a certain temperature, it will activate the fan. Having said that, for the size of this, I don't want a lot of airflow, so I'm gonna remove the back of this part here and just basically put the face on the side there, and maybe drill like two either 1/2 inch or 3/4 holes to let air in. And the same thing here, because the fan is going to be installed on top, and I might separate it a bit from the top of this, just so it doesn't create a vacuum, because I will not cut a hole the size of the fan. I'm just going to cut two, maybe 3/4 inch holes and start with that. That way I can test what that does, and if I want to speed up and have more airflow, I can always drill more holes, and as long as I stay within the rectangle of this guy and that guy. And ultimately, at some point, if I wanted to try something different, I have my finger on the camera there. If I want to try something different, I will sneak in a small dehumidifier in there and see how that does. But so there'll be a few updates for this. But yeah, that's pretty much what I came up with. If you have any questions, leave me a comment and I will reply to you. Other than that, I'll thank you for hanging out, and I welcome your opinion on this. So tomorrow I'll put up a full video tour of the shop since I rearranged everything. So I'll catch up with you then. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.